In my experience as a former employee, some of the most well-intentioned executive leaders seem to think that the countdown to belonging happens shortly after the decision to undertake a diversity, inclusion, and belonging initiative. This is not the case. I think a quote by Andy Stanley explains this best. He says, leadership is all about taking people on a journey. The challenge is that most of the time we are asking people to follow us to places we ourselves have never been. I invite C suite leaders to begin the journey with me by first realizing that the pursuit and cultivation of diversity, inclusion, and belonging is indeed a journey that needs to be approached as a journey rather than as an initiative. It is a journey that requires a commitment to humility from every individual, especially C suite leaders who, by the very nature of their position within the organizational structure, limits their perspective among frontline employee interactions. And that's not a fault, it's an opportunity. Without humility, the journey will be short lived in an organization being led by leaders that lack a personal frame of reference, which can only be cultivated through rich encounters that arise by having a diverse circle of their own. When I spoke at a 2021 Human Resources Conference, I was asked what the one takeaway was I had for the attendees. My response was this: do not see diversity, inclusion, and belonging as a philosophy, skill set, or application for your HR toolkit that you need to master. Rather, I invited participants to situate themselves in the diversity, inclusion, and belonging space as an individual who happens to serve in the role of Chief Executive Officer, Chief Diversity Officer, or Chief Human Resources Officer. Only when you cultivate a diverse circle of authentic relationships that afford you the luxury of being transparent enough to exercise cultural humility can you be even more effective in your role as a CEO, CDO, or CHRO. So, I've chosen to first focus on the C suite in an organization because when executives can personally situate themselves in the diversity, inclusion, and belonging space, they can have the insight, credibility, and experience to lead the journey for their organization based on where they've already been. As an activity that will feed your leadership soul, think about how your personal diversity, inclusion, and belonging journey influences how you approach others in the workplace. I'd love it if you'd share this brief broadcast via LinkedIn and contribute to the dialogue by revealing any aha moment or moments you had in a LinkedIn post. Until next time, this is Dr. Anita reminding you to stay blessed and keep it real.